Hey guys, Chris here with Josh and Daniel from the Brothers Boyd. We are on episode 8 of our
7.
She-Hulk review.
8.
We got one more episode to go. Let's call it the penultimate. No, let's not call it the penultimate. Let's call it the Daredevil episode. Let me just say this. Charlie Cox, welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. My first impressions, I love the red and yellow suit. I think she made a comment calling that mustard and ketchup.
Yeah.
You shouldn't dress in the colors of mustard and ketchup. But let me tell you something. There's been some retractors and there's been some people who have just totally trashed this episode because it's not Netflix's Daredevil. But you know what? That's okay. This is the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Daredevil, and it works. He's fun. He's funny. He's jovial. He plays the character well. And he and Tatiana Maslany work great together. They were a good couple. Spoilers, they were actually a couple. Well, I wouldn't say they were a couple, but let's just say one of the two wound up doing the walk of shame at the end of the episode. So just my first impression is great episode, great way to introduce Daredevil to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I loved Leapfrog. He was jovial and funny too. And of course, he would be the character who uses jet fuel in his suit when he wasn't supposed to use it, and then tries to sue the guy who built it for malfunction. Hence the lawyer show, and hence walk in Charlie Cox as Daredevil. So first impressions, great episode. Daniel, what do you think about this episode?
I'm still loving the series. I do think that was a great introduction to the character of Daredevil. I think that Charlie Cox and Tatiana Maslany had a great chemistry together. I love the back and forth of how he would handle things and how she just goes through and smashes things. Is great. Great contrast, but still works towards their chemistry, really. The show is still hilarious. Leapfrog is just a great villain, a villain of the week, really. He just came in and just was this complete doofus. It was great to show him come in, and he didn't know what to do to stop a criminal. So of course he becomes a bad guy when he screws up being a good guy. And loved everything. I'm loving this series, and there's something that happens at the end of this episode. I think we're going to discuss one of my final thoughts that really sets up the big finale this coming up week. But anyways, Josh, what's your first impressions?
A great episode. And actually, when you look at it, it's kind of a split. It's almost like 2 episodes the way they did it this week. Leapfrog, yet another great D-list villain who showed up. I mean, I'm watching him, and all I'm thinking about, Daniel, is Vigilante on Peacemaker. He was pretty much the same character. I mean, it was kind of crazy. Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox's Daredevil, awesome character. Great to see that come in. Great to finally see She-Hulk getting a little bit of happiness, right? Her and Matt Murdock had great chemistry together. And the reveal when she pulls his mask off and reveals that he's Daredevil was just a great thing. I enjoyed seeing Luke Jacobson back. He's a great character who I think they need to use more in the MCU. Bring him in anytime you want to. It would be great to see him making the costumes now that we know he is the guy doing that. I wonder if he's being funded by the Avengers.
Josh, he's the Edna Mode of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
He definitely is. I want to hear him say no capes. But yeah, first impressions, another great episode. I would have to say this is probably my favorite. Out of what I've seen so far, this was a great episode. When she breaks the fourth wall, I mean, had to be a good 4 or 5 minutes of her breaking the fourth wall in this episode. It was just hilarious. It was so great seeing her talk to the screen. As far as a favorite scene, there were so many in this episode that I truly enjoyed. I think if I had to say favorite scene out of all of them, Daredevil loves a hallway fight, doesn't he? He loves the
Yeah.
hallway fight. He
Yes.
gets in there and he's fighting in the hallway and he's kicking all those guys' butts. And all of a sudden, She-Hulk just busts through the ceiling and knocks the rest of them out. It was such perfect comic timing. Daniel, what about you? What was your favorite scene?
The same. I like I said earlier, just seeing the contrast between the two, and we get that setup, that perfect Netflix setup. You see him start kicking butt, and you're like, oh man, we got to get one of those awesome things. And then she just drops in and takes out all of them. It's like, what? This is a lot easier. Just it was great comedic timing, just hilarious, and it kind of subverted expectations. I know that's a term that so many people love, but it really did subvert expectations of what that could be like, and just really turned it on its head and made for a great comedic effect. How about you, Chris? What was your favorite scene?
My favorite scene, and I'm gonna go against the grain here. My favorite scene was the first time we see her step out in her new suit. It just looked so good. And I had made a comment earlier on one of our videos, please don't do CGI at dark because it doesn't work. Well, it worked this time. It looked really good. The suit worked. She looked incredible in it. It was just it worked. It looked really cool because if you're going to be a superhero, you need a suit. And why not, if you're athletic, have an athletic looking suit? So I really, I think that in that whole scene right there where she first was fighting Daredevil, and and just seeing how she was able to accept her powers now and how she's figuring out how to use it. She pretty much destroyed that parking garage there with that clap, but and she also destroyed Daredevil too. It doesn't take much, but that sound thing really messes him up. But that to me was just one of the better scenes in there. As far as lines, one of the funniest things to me in the whole show the other night when he was talking about how it would take him about 10 seconds per person to take them out. And she goes, well, I'm not going to wait here for about 30 minutes for you to take them all out. And he's like, I think you got your math a little off there. But, that was pretty funny as well. So, yeah, like Josh said, lots of great scenes. But I think my favorite was that suit. And it looked really good. And it worked because sometimes you put these suits on a show and you go, no, maybe they shouldn't have changed. They should have changed that a little bit to make it look a little better. But it worked. I mean, we're talking about a 7'6" green girl. So let's it's already CGI. So let's put a suit on it that makes it look decent. And they did. Overall, I'm just like Josh. This was by far my favorite episode. I hope there is not a letdown, being as how we got the Daredevil episode, but I really don't feel like it is. We still got the shadow of the Hulk King, and there's just so many things going on. She even made a comment on the way to the gala. What do you think? There's gonna be like a red Hulk or something? So are we going to get a General Thunderbolt Ross? Are we going to get a leader? What is coming next? We have no idea. So when we thought we were done and the episode just keeps going, when she broke the fourth wall, I know there's a lot of people who are going, well, she broke the fourth wall. She's not Deadpool. And I'm like, these people need to realize that it wasn't Deadpool who broke the wall first. She was one of the first ones to break that fourth wall. So that just comes from the non-well-versed people who haven't read comics their whole life and have just jumped onto the train. So, yeah, overall, great episode. Can't wait to see what happens with the after effects of what happened at the end this week. Daniel, how about you? What were your overall thoughts on this episode?
Overall impressions, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. Seeing her in that suit was really a great character moment because that was her accepting becoming a superhero, and it's just a great character moment. And I think that's what this whole series has been building towards. So it's great to see that finally happen. And yes, like you said, the suit looks great. I think a lot of that had to do with the lighting in that scene. The lighting was really well done. I wish some people that made other large budget television shows would realize that nighttime scenes do need good lighting. We won't talk about that though too any further than that. But yes, overall, I'm really enjoying this, and like y'all said, this is right up there with the Madison episode. Is one of the best episodes in the series. I just absolutely loved it, and like you said, I can't wait for next week. We don't know what's coming. I don't know if it's the leader. I don't know if it's a Red Hulk. I don't know if it's Red She-Hulk. I've heard some rumors about, well, more fan speculation than rumors about maybe the Red She-Hulk being the ultimate nemesis here that's trying to take her down. But I don't know what it is. Whatever it is not leaked. So kudos to Marvel for that. But I can't wait to see more of it. Josh, how about you? Overall impressions?
Overall impressions, overall thoughts. Great episode, best one yet. Still a lot of threads left open that have to be closed in the final episode, and I think they're gonna have to really wrap that up tight. But y'all are talking great suit. We know purple and green are contrasting colors. That's why Bruce always has on purple shorts when he changes into the Hulk. But that suit was awesome. But let's hear it for the ketchup and mustard, because the Daredevil suit looked awesome. When red and yellow, you would think would look very bad together, but it looks great.
Yes.
The whole, we did get a lot of Daredevil, but the cameo of the night was the Frogger machine in the lily pad, right? I mean,
Media quarters were spent on that game back in my youth.
Yeah, Leapfrog really took the whole frog thing to another level with his secret hideout. There were a lot of big things that popped up. We know just from that first court scene with Matt Murdock that the Sokovia Accords are gone. They're gone.
Yeah, absolutely. How did we let that slip past us? There's no longer a Sokovia.
Yep, that went on. That got told because she wanted to reveal who Luke had people, making suits for, and that would have outed Daredevil. He was definitely not up for that. And for all those Netflix purists, when Daredevil shows up, you get a hint of the Netflix theme. It was in there. It was in the background.
And I think the Born Again series is going to be more on along the lines of the Netflix series. Maybe not quite as rough as slamming a guy's head into the door, bloody head into the door, but I do think you're going to get a little bit darker on Daredevil. But yeah, anyways, back to you, Josh.
Yeah, I think you're going to get a good in between, Daniel. And Daniel, my X-Men fan, did you not see the Wolverine reference?
Oh yes.
when her assistant comes in, Ginger Gonzaga, and she puts the makeup brushes between her hands like the Wolverine claw. That was just hilarious. Excuse me, guys. Overall, great episode. Can't wait to see where they go next. Just a little bit of speculation. Don't know who we're gonna get, but I do know that there's more footage of the Hulk out there. So Bruce has got to come back in this last episode somewhere. We haven't seen all the Hulk footage. So
he just got confirmed to be in the new Captain America movie, so he's coming back to Earth fairly soon.
Yes. So we're gonna see where we're going there. Overall, great episode. Can't wait for the finale. I can't wait to see how they close everything up. My wish list is I want Wong back. I want the Hulk back. I want Abomination back. I want to see that whole group from his retreat show up and help her. I want to see Madison pop back up one more time. Bring me some more Madison. That's what I'd like to see. I think it's going to be action packed, and I think it's going to, close it out really well. And hopefully it'll lead us to where we're going next with She-Hulk. And I have a feeling, like you said, Daniel, that's going to be in Captain America. She's going to pop back up.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's
right. And Josh, just a little heads up. They announced the cast for Daredevil Rebirth today. And Tatiana Maslany is in the cast list for Daredevil Rebirth.
Oh, nice.
So, so we're probably going to see her there. Also, I've also heard, and I didn't follow it really well. The article didn't work really well, but this episode, the last episode, may break some records for like a longer episode. So hopefully, we'll get a longer episode. So
it's actually one of the shortest. What I read in the article, it's like 30.
Got to be
36 or 37 minutes.
Just action, start to finish. It sounds like
probably. Yes. Yeah, I would think so. But that's all we got for you this week, guys. But just to let you know, coming up this weekend, me and Chris will be in Fayetteville for the Fayetteville Comic Con, October 15th and 16th. Chris will be dressed as Silent Bob, and I'll have on my brother's Boyd shirt. We'll be walking around. We'll be recording video, taking pictures of cosplayers for the channel, doing interviews with the guests there. Come and find us. We're going to have flyers. We're going to be passing out. We're going to have stuff, some goodies with us. So come and find us for the show. Join us there. If you hadn't seen it already, me and Chris interviewed Keith Gibbs last week, and our interview is up talking about the show that is coming this weekend. Also on October 22nd, the next Saturday, we will be at Lions Eye Games in Jacksonville, North Carolina for the Pop Swap and Cornhole Tournament. Come out, show your cornhole skills, bring your pops out. You should be able to find some great ones that you've been looking for. I know you see the two back there on Chris's shelf. I think he's going to have them on the table with us when we're there next Saturday, the 22nd. Come out, see the pops, see there's going to be comics and all sorts of stuff there. Come out and check it out. Hang out with us. Let's talk She-Hulk. By then we'll know what.
Josh, just so the people know, the two that are on the shelf behind me, if the price is right, they could go home with those as well. I'm not attached, so
awesome. They just look good on the shelf for now, right?
They look really good as a background in the videos.
Yes. So yeah, we'll have some of our own pops. There'll be lots of pops there. I know I've said it before, but I'm still looking for Dr. Doom to add to my Fantastic Four collection. Hopefully I can find it there. But until then, you guys check us out on social media, like and subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you know when that next episode is coming up. We've all watched Werewolf by Night. If you hadn't watched it yet, you should. And our review's coming up before Halloween for that. So keep an eye out for that. And until next time, we will see you at the con and see you at the shop.